Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the hidden stories in companies' financial reports. Are you ready to dive into ANGIODYNAMICS' latest filing, because we've got some juicy details to break down that might just surprise you. Today we're peeking behind the curtain at ANGIODYNAMICS' latest report released on July 15th, 2025. This isn't just a dry financial update, it's a peek into how the company wrapped up its fiscal year ending May 31's Hadron's Aftontenny's report card for the year, and we're here to grade it. So who exactly is ANGIODYNAMICS? They're a player in the medical technology world focusing on developing products for the treatment of cancer and other conditions. They're listed on the NASDAQ Global Select Market under the ticker ANGIO. This document we're looking at is a Form 8K, which is like a current report. Companies file these when something important happens that shareholders should know about right away, like announcing their financial results. It's not a full annual report, but a snapshot of key events. The most significant part of this filing is all about the company's financial performance. They've released their results for the fourth quarter and the entire fiscal year. This is where we get to see if ANGIODYNAMICS is growing, shrinking, or just treading water. Alongside the financial results, they've also provided some presentation slides. These slides often offer a more visual and digestible explanation of the numbers, highlighting the key takeaways directly from management. It's like getting the executive summary with the raw data. Now, let's talk about what really matters, the financials. And while this report doesn't contain detailed tables directly in this snippet, it references a press release and presentation that do. These documents would contain the nitty-gritty numbers that tell us whether ANGIODYNAMICS is performing well. We're looking for revenue growth, profit margins, and how much debt they have. For instance, if revenue is up significantly, that's a strong signal. If profit margins are expanding, it means they're becoming more efficient at turning sales into actual profit. Conversely, if revenue is flat or declining, or if their debt is piling up, those are red flags we'll be watching out for. We'd also be keen to see how their expenses are managed. Are they spending wisely to grow the business, or are costs spiraling out of control? Everything boils down to how much money is coming in versus how much is going out, and whether that's a sustainable trend. It's important to note that information furnished in this type of report isn't considered officially filed in the same way as, say, a full 10K. This means that while the information is public and important, the company has a touch less legal liability if there are minor inaccuracies compared to a formal filing. It's more of an announcement of their findings. Now, every company report comes with a bunch of forward-looking statements. These are basically predictions about the future. ANGIODYNAMICS is telling us what they expect to happen with their sales, their products, their strategies, and they'll use words like expects, plans, believes, and anticipates. It's crucial to remember these are just expectations, not guarantees. The company itself warns that actual results could be very different. They list a whole host of risks that could impact their future performance, from the pandemic's lingering effects to competitor actions, regulatory hurdles, economic conditions like inflation, and even lawsuits. This section is essentially the company saying, here's our best guess, but a lot of things could go wrong. Specifically, they're highlighting that these statements are made under the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. This law provides some protection to companies from lawsuits if their forward-looking statements turn out to be wrong. As long as they weren't intentionally misleading, it's that classic balance between transparency and protecting the company. This part is really the meat and potatoes of the risk section. It's a long list, but let's break down the key themes. They're worried about external factors like economic downturns, inflation, and supply chain disruptions, which can hit any company. But they're also very focused on their specific industry challenges. Developing new products and getting them approved by the FDA is always a big hurdle. Competition is fierce, especially from companies with more money and resources. And then there's the ever-present risk of patent disputes and product liability claims. You can see they're trying to cover all their bases, acknowledging that many things outside their direct control can impact their performance. They even point to their previous year's annual report for even more risks, showing they're thinking long term. Finally, we get to the exhibits. This is where they attach the actual documents we've been talking about, like the press release and the presentation slides. These are the primary sources of the financial data and management's commentary. Exhibit 99.1 is the press release detailing their financial results. This is likely where you'll find the hard numbers on revenue, earnings per share, and other key financial metrics for the fourth quarter and the full year. Exhibit 99.2 is the presentation slides. This is often more visually driven, using charts and graphs to explain the company's performance and future outlook. It's a great way to get a quick understanding of the main points. But to wrap things up, we see the signature of Lawrence T. Weiss, who holds a pretty important title, Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, and Corporate Secretary. This indicates that the report has been properly authorized and submitted by the company's management. So let's zoom out and look at the big picture for ANGIODYNAMICS. Based on this filing, they presented their year-end results and given us a glimpse into their future expectations. What's our take? Well, without seeing the actual numbers in the press release and presentation, it's hard to give a definitive grade. However, the extensive list of risks they highlight, from product development and regulatory approvals to economic headwinds, and competition, suggests a business operating in a dynamic and challenging environment. Their success will likely hinge on their ability to innovate, navigate complex regulations, and manage costs effectively, especially in the face of a competitive landscape. It's a company that's clearly aware of the hurdles, but their ability to overcome them will be the real story. What's your opinion on ANGIODYNAMICS' strategy and the risks they've outlined? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful and want more insights into corporate filings, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Corporate Decoder. And don't forget to join our growing community on Discord. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.